don't know.
I'm up in here. That's all good. We can at least figure out.
It's formatted over twice, so whatever conversation is gone.
Yeah, that's fine.
And this is probably be gone too. I bet it's going to error again because, like, why wouldn't it?
Right. Yeah, I can hit the fucking laugh button.
Extremely important for your studio.
Yeah, it's like how, you know, like in sitcoms, like The Big Bang Theory and shit, like they have the audience laugh so you know to laugh. Have you ever seen that shit without the laugh track?
Yeah.
Holy
for
shit.
For any show, yeah. For like,
it's so cringy.
I think for Friends, it was the worst.
It's pretty bad. Friends is not funny at all.
I think Friends can be, but yeah, it makes sense you would hate Friends.
Why is that?
I don't know. You just seem the person that would hate Friends.
Like, what am I, like, too pretentious to like Friends? The answer is yes. But
I guess.
like,
I don't know. I
can't
Friends,
say I'm a
Friends
sitcom aficionado.
I don't know if I think Friends would be fine. I just don't care about it.
Yeah, I don't really get it. There's some people who were like, oh my God, I own the Friends box set.
Right,
You know, like,
yeah.
It's the best shit ever. I know people who think the Big Bang Theory is like the best shit ever.
Who?
And
Boomers?
usually it is.
Yeah,
like,
that was the
Gen
joke in
Xers
Family
or
Guy.
Yeah.
When it first came out, it was like, actually, Peter, this is really good. And that was when it like first came out.
No way. I didn't realize they made that joke.
Yeah,
I
like
guess
when
it's that low hanging fruit.
the
That's
first
Seth
two
MacFarlane got to
seasons
it.
probably were out, and yeah, literally, Peter's rich grandfather is the one that said it, and it was just an offhanded thing. He said,
I love this Big Bang Theory.
"Yeah,
Like,
he was like, hey, do you want to?" He was trying. There was an episode where him and Peter were friends,
Uh-huh.
and they said. He was like, hey, you know, actually Big Bang Theory is pretty good. You want to watch it? And he's like, I know it's weird, but it's like, it's a good show.
Yeah.
Like, it was serious. It was a weird, serious side, which, you know, Seth MacFarlane's making, he's still a joke, but it's still like.
Right. It's just dry.
Actually, I like Big Theory.
That is fucking hilarious. I don't see, like, at best, it's like mean-spirited jabs at nerds, and at like worst, it's vicious mockery of autistic people. Which
it's also
happens
really
a lot,
sexist too.
Like, yeah, it's super like
the very beginning. I'm like, Jesus, Penny is not that like she's like the only girl, so she's stupid. I guess
it's fucking lowest common denominator type shit, and it can only be lowest common denominator. It's like, women bad, weird people funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I mean they added
like
women later. You know? But it was still like the way they did with like, hey, Penny, you're stupid. And I was just like, that's the joke?
I'm just picturing like just she comes in and is like, what are you playing? It's like, we're playing Halo, you dumb, useless bitch.
Yeah.
And there's like a laugh track.
Yeah, it really was like that. Because I remember the big, when the first couple seasons were out, the biggest thing that like most people were like anything in nerdom, anything. Like you touch like any nerdom thing, they did a joke, which basically just was you could easily find a clip because it was like, this is the Big Bang Theory in a nutshell,
right? Where
like they're joking about what game they're playing and they name off like 6 games and they call it one game. So they're saying this is like Star Trek Magic the Gathering.
Oh yeah, mixed
remember that?
With this and mixed with it's like, and that makes no like, fucking sense. Like that was just buzzwords.
Yeah,
you know?
Because that's what the show was like, okay, now we're gonna say zing.
A bazooper.
Yeah, like Bazinga, which is the best part, came from it. You know, Bazinga. But like, yeah, it was. I think they did it. I'm sure they changed a little bit because shows change a bit, but it's still like, yeah.
No, they didn't. No, that shit never changed. I caught an episode,
like a recent one. It's still
it's over, but like you know, my parents would watch that, and like I'd catch one, and I'm just like, I don't fucking get it. This is so hard to watch.
It's just a sitcom.
I'm just trying to picture, like, everyone involved. The people who had to write this shit. The actors who had to act this shit. The people who have to, like, fucking, I don't know, producers or showrunners. It's like, how do you not go into work every day already half-cocked?
I will
know
kill
what I mean?
myself.
Yeah,
money, obviously.
Well, fucking duh. But at the same time, it's like,
what are you producing? Yeah.
No amount of money in the world is going to keep you from putting that bottle to your head. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, it does, actually.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It felt like
fuck off money. So
you would think they'd like, hey, I want to do something else. But I mean, there's contracts, but
yeah.
But it's like you would think in a couple of years we'll hear them say, yeah, fuck that show.
It's no, yeah.
Well, that's what you would think the show would be like. Yeah, fuck that show.
All I've seen Jim Parsons do since is like star in like feel good gay movies, which is like still annoying, but a different kind of annoying.
Who's that one?
He's Sheldon.
Oh yeah. And he's like 50 years old now.
Right, because it's always like whenever you see the type of shit that he's in, it's like really sanitized experience sort of stuff.
Right.
You know, it's like TV friendly gay.
Oh,
which
for
drives me
sure.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, thanks Will and Grace for toning it down for the straights. You know,
I guess like
appreciate
you
it.
like
Thank you.
literally Hallmark gay.
Yeah. Hallmark gay.
No,
Yeah,
but it
that's
was
exactly
like
what
is
it
it
is.
literally? I'm guessing it's literally on Hallmark.
Probably.
Though. Yeah,
I don't
like
know.
it's not in theaters. Like watch Sheldon be gay. Like I don't think so.
Can you imagine if that's? I can see that just being with how tone deaf and soulless all that shit is. I can totally see the advertising campaign being like, "Ha, Sheldon Cooper is gay."
I mean, they did Young Sheldon.
They did do Young
and
Sheldon,
I think it's still going. I haven't kept track of it.
They tried to rip off like the format. They're like, hey, The Middle was a show people like, and that's kind of like a modern sitcom, like some Malcolm in the Middle type shit.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just do that. And it's like, this sucks. This still sucks. Like, I don't. It's just repackaged for different people. This kind of goes into. To bring it back to like the topic, what's ostensibly the topic of this podcast, just the sense that it's like, I feel like streaming for RPGs is like the same thing. Like your critical roles and your shit like that is like the same sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean it's very packaged.
It's super packaged.
Yeah.
I've gone on and on.
I know you
about
hate
live
that.
stream fucking,
I think
live stream fucking shit. So I'm not.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, I know you have. Yeah, because it's easy. I mean, it is easy. It's
easy.
low hanging fruit.
It really is.
It is. Yeah.
It so is.
It's one of those things. It's like in the sphere of what you know, you hate certain things. You know?
Well, that's what like, I think the reason why it's so easy to hate Big Bang Theory is because it's literally like taking things that people are passionate about and making them look as ridiculous as possible. Yeah,
pulverizing
destroying it
to some particle of what you think it is.
Yeah, and then selling it to people who fucking,
that's nerd stuff?
Yeah.
Wow.
The same type of people who do nothing but watch TV when they get home.
Yeah,
you
no,
know what
I mean sitcoms in general. Those
Yeah.
are just so much of a, you just stare.
I can't imagine a life where I go to work and then I come home and like eat dinner and then watch TV. Like,
I mean, I've had problems where I go home and watch YouTube a lot.
oh
But
yeah, I've done similar.
I would be careful to assume you're higher up than that. It's
I'm
very
not.
particular. I agree.
I'm
It's
not.
different because it's particular what you want.
Well, let me say further that that's also an issue,
Right.
And that's something that like I've definitely like caught myself in doing.
Yeah,
Like,
it's hard because you're like, there's the night.
Yeah, I try not to do that.
Right.
Like it's still like a force. I guess what I'm saying is like there are people a lot of people who've just given up, and that's just what they do now. And it's like I kind of don't blame them because a lot of times it's because they work a really fucking hard job all day and then work a really long time, and then that's like really easy access, fulfilling entertainment.
Yeah, and
shit
fun
like
is
that.
the weekend, not for the week.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Well, just like, I'm here to rest, and the weekend is when I'm actually going to do what I want.
Yeah.
It's that mentality.
I guess that's true.
And sometimes it could happen. You're like, hey, I'm going to be, there's a big thing happening Saturday.
Yeah.
I just need to get through the week.
I guess that's what I'm not looking down on people who do that.
But fuck them.
But yeah, they suck. But but what I'm saying is like I try so hard not to do that, and I catch myself doing it, and it's like fuck. I can't. I guess I can't imagine being okay with it, and that's more of like a personal thing.
It makes sense because I feel like you have a sense of like impending. Just impending. I would say even actually, now think about it, just impending. Something needs to be done.
Yeah, I guess
because something's happening.
Yeah,
something needs to happen.
I can't sit still.
You need to produce. Yeah, you need to produce. You need to feed the capitalist machine.
Yeah,
Marx was right. I feel that a little bit too. Like if you don't produce something, it feels like you're not doing anything.
Yeah,
it feels like no, I'm literally wasting every single time I watch YouTube all the way. I'm literally, I could be doing something.
That is the other end of the spectrum, isn't it? Where you feel like if you're relaxing or sitting still, it's like you feel guilty because you're not doing your job, or you're not making something, or you're not checking stuff off the to-do list.
Yeah,
which is just as bad. to be like,
it's a balance. Yeah,
it is.
But it's hard
because
I feel like the way I do YouTube is I do philosophy lectures.
Do you listen to them?
That's all I do when I usually get home.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, there's some stuff. Like, I used to watch a lot of like gaming news,
right?
Just because I don't even do it that much, but I like to keep up just as a conversational thing. Just to be fun. Like, hey, something's coming out. You could have a conversation with people about that,
right?
But like, yeah, I just find like a philosophy lecture and then sometimes pay attention to it.
I've gotten down that wormhole. There's some long fucking lectures on there. There's some
I've done
big,
hours
like fucking. That's pretty cool. It is like a free,
but it's hard
degree,
because
like,
it's a veil of the same thing. Because if I'm not fully paying attention to it and it's in the background, then I literally don't get anything from it. It's just fizz. It's just noise.
I'm a believer in you get some stuff subconsciously from it. Like you probably get more than you think, but not nearly as much as if you were actively listening to it.
Right, but philosophy is something you have to be listening to.
That's
it's
true.
very specific. Yeah. Like, hey, we're going to talk about definitions for the entire time.
For time. Yeah, and then
but I guess I always cautious myself. Because it's always the thing about like most people think they're smarter than everybody else.
Right.
Most people are this better than everyone else, and I'm always cautious of that thinking.
Yeah, I think what pisses me off more, because I'm. You might listen to past episodes and disagree, but I don't think I'm better than anybody. You know what I mean?
You just have
funny.
Opinions.
I have very strong opinions.
Right.
But what drives me crazy is the type of lowest common denominator shit. It's not that people are dumb. It's that they're treating other people like they're dumb. Like Big Bang Theory is basically saying like we know that people are stupid and they aren't going to be able to engage with this material at all. So we have to really dumb it down into its basest form, put a laugh track over it.
It's nerdum with Apple logo.
Yeah, and it's like fucking. It's like it's insulting. It's not just insulting to the people.
They like it.
Well,
it went on for
they
like
shouldn't. They shouldn't.
It went on for 10 seasons, didn't it?
They're being called
more
for
than
10 seasons. They let themselves get called stupid to their face, and they're too good for that. They shouldn't take it.
But it's making fun of it. But part of it is the show is making fun of the nerds too. So like if you're an old lady and you watch the show, you're trying to find a way to connect to your grandson or something, and through this show,
Sheldon has a Green Lantern shirt on.
Right, yeah, and it's easier to do. Like they don't need to be deeper. It's surface level. So I think part of it was a show that, hey, we're getting older. This is for a crowd unintentionally or intentionally,
right,
that doesn't know what's going on. They've worked a factory job, which is disappearing. They're doing a job that they've done for 40 years, and now there's some kind of world that's really fast. Really, really, really fast.
Right.
Super fast. Like, there's stuff. What is this Green Lantern thing? What's crypto? Like, what is these things happening?
Yeah.
And the show makes it in a funny, like, haha, it's just the way life is.
You know what? That is a really... I think it's giving it a lot of benefit of the doubt, but I think that's a pretty interesting way to think about
it was
what that
it was known for.
I mean,
I don't know what the actual graphics was,
right?
As in
the demographics.
But I'm pretty sure it was known that it was an old people show, like a boomer show.
Interesting. So it's like you kind of just use it to.
I think they were using it, and I think people were joking about the fact that they were just. I don't know how to communicate with my son or grandson,
right?
Because they live in a world completely alien to mine.
Right.
Completely.
Especially
if our generation have kids, same.
Yeah.
We'll have probably a little bit because we're with the internet.
Right.
But it's going so fast.
It's not.
You can't keep up with everything.
It's not even necessarily. You're totally right. I mean, not only is like because they talk about in the Big Bang Theory, they talk about internet and computers and crypto, like you said, but it is also like with how popular nerd media is becoming.
Yeah.
It's like so. Let alone my grandpa and having a hard time understanding how the internet influences things. But what the fuck is like a video game? Even.
Yeah, like...
You know what I mean? So if you have nerdy grandkids, that's even harder because it's like
I want to
to
communicate with my grandkids. He's playing Halo all the time. This show is explaining to me what it means to these characters.
That's a fascinating way to look at it. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I want to go back a little bit because we
fuck them. Yeah.
No.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
People suck. No. I wanted to go back to like we were talking about leisure time. like TV, like YouTube being the new TV, and constantly trying to not be a couch potato one way or another, but then also try not to give in to always working and shit like that. Where do RPGs fit in that for you, like leisure wise? Like where are they like on that continuum? Is it like something that it's like, oh yeah, I can play this shit easy, hang out with friends, do it every night, it's basically TV? Or is it like, this shit is so much work, it takes so much out of me, I can only do it every once in a while?
Oh, because because I think socially I take a toll.
Right.
Socially,
just like personally,
because games are a social game.
Right.
And I can't pull myself out. I can't be in a game. I have to be myself. Like, it can be a character in a game, but I exhaust myself because I monitor myself very closely.
Like, monitor how? For what?
Just like what I do. Like, don't talk too much. Speaker at a time. Hey, hold, that joke's probably not a good time because someone's talking. Like, I monitor myself, which is what usually exhausts me.
Is that with like any social situation?
That's why I don't I'm not big into social situations, because I don't want to be not like in the middle of it as like, haha. Right. But because I don't know, I just monitor myself.
So role-playing games are almost like a step worse because it also has actual rules on top of like the implied rules.
Yeah, I'm not good with rules. Yeah, I'm with bad rules because, usually I just don't care. I'd rather just play the game.
Sure. And that should be...
But I don't usually, I don't feel energized usually when I play it. I just feel exhausted usually.
Man, yeah.
It's just, I think I'm back to the social. If I'm around people, I have to monitor myself.
Right. I think...
I feel like most people, that's just how people live.
I could totally see that. I mean,
I'm not that special for that. I think it's just, I'm just saying that.
I'm the opposite in the sense that it's like I feel really energized and empowered when I'm, running or doing shit and stuff like that. But usually it's like, I also like it to where, when I judge games, a lot of the times it's like, I'm the only one who needs to know the rules. I'm taking on that responsibility. If people want to do cool shit, let's fucking go.
Right.
And it's a lot easier when I feel like there's, I guess the way to explain it is like, the rules are there to catch us so we can ignore any other shit that we want and keep going. But if stuff starts to fall apart, there's like a safety net, and then we can keep back going.
Right.
So it's like I almost feel like it's nice to not have to monitor yourself, like when you're playing a game, like you're getting into your character, you have an excuse, you have a backup because you got a book that says here's the things that you need to watch out for, and then you're fucking golden. Right. You know what I mean? But that's for my table. That's not necessarily true when I've played at other people's tables and stuff like that.
For me, it's just a social thing. Like if I'm playing at anyone's table, I want to have other people be engaged in the game.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So
that's
I
a cool thing
try to have that.
Do.
Don't talk too much. Try to, like I said, engage other people.
Well, you give a shit about other people's experience at the table.
Yeah,
which is huge.
Socially,
right?
Yeah,
right.
But do things maybe like, hey, my character itself is doing too many things right now, so I'll just let people. Someone right now is talking to the store owner. I don't need to really engage right now. Let them do it. Oh, this is this player's moment. I'm just going to back out.
That's cool. It's cool to be aware of that.
So usually I'm quiet in games because I'm want other things to happen.
Right. I'm hyper aware of that as like a judge, as a GM, as saying I want to make sure, because it is my job at that point to get the experience going. When I'm a player, it's a lot harder for me to pay attention to that because I just get so wrapped up in my shit that it's like,
That's why it's like anything social.
It is. Yeah.
That joke's not that joke's probably not going to go well because there's times where I've overly talked for any social situation, and I usually think about it afterwards.
I mean, at this point, I think we're just drawing comparisons between RPGs are just another social situation
for me.
Each deal with but I think it's true of it all.
Yeah, you were talking about an RPG, but for me, it's really the same.
Well, but how I deal with an RPG is similar to like I love going to parties, being around a bunch of people, saying hi to a lot of people, juggling a lot of shit. RPGs give me that I'm here trying to maintain this experience with 4 to 6 other people. Yeah. High action, high going. Because RPGs are a social experience, and we're looking at it just as a social experience and saying this is how both you and I interact with social experiences. I think it's just right there. The proof is in the pudding. Yeah. So I guess when I was talking about the continuum between leisure and work, like where is socializing for you then?
I guess
is it like
something that it's a need. I mean,
right? Yeah.
I mean, Casey would joke that I would be like, I would just be like with myself because in my other apartment, I'd be just with myself, and then I'd be like, is anyone doing a game this week? Because there's usually games that happen, and then like if there hasn't been for a while, I'd be like, hey, is anyone doing any games? Because for me, I could be like, I can be like isolated pretty easy, but then I have need to go out.
Sure.
But
it is literally
I
like
could be by
getting
myself, pretty easily.
I guess it's just like you need the when you like, oh, I need that fix. I got my one
Kinda
for the week.
Yeah.
When I'm like constantly looking for the next high. Like I'm always
it's a fix more than anything.
Yeah, socially it's like I need to always be up on that. And that's a hard thing to manage.
Yeah. Yeah, for you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably way more leisure than you've ever had.
Way more what?
Leisure time.
Oh,
you used to be,
it's been so hard.
Yeah. You used to be just like, no, I'm literally 5 to 7 is shitting time. We can't even talk.
Yeah. I can't even.
I'll be in the bathroom 5 to 7. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, my infamous 2-hour shits. It's really hard to schedule work and leisure time and cooking and stuff when you have to poop for 2 hours straight. Yeah. No, but that's true. I mean, I guess that it drives me. So I can say like it drives me crazy when people don't have planners. Like if I'm like, oh, I'm doing this at this time, and someone's like, oh, I forgot. You know what I mean? That drives me up the fucking wall.
Yeah.
But I think it's very reductive to say, oh, that drives me crazy. And I think it's more like I don't understand that because for myself, I have to have that shit blocked out.
Yeah.
Hour by hour, ready to go.
Right.
So I just cannot conceive of a reality in which you just remember things.
I mean, more leisure time, really. I mean, if you only have to worry about 2 things a week.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And I've definitely gotten that experience, and I'm tired of it. I'm fucking
clearly.
tired of it.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't usually have to have a planner. I mean, like, it's good work, obviously. But
yeah.
But, no, I'm getting better at writing things down, but, like, no.
That's
like,
good.
No, other than that, I mean, I wrote what we talked about down.
Hell yeah!
And I had a notification like today.
Right?
I already kind of remembered. I didn't forget.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure it's easy to remember shit if it's not like.
Yeah.
I've gotten so used to being like, oh, it's on the calendar, which means I no longer have to think about it. It means if I don't write shit down, I just don't fucking remember it anymore. Like I've got notes and shit,
it's definitely like. The older you get, it's definitely writing things down super helpful.
Wasn't it Plato or someone who said like reading and literacy will weaken the brain because you can just write shit down? Yeah, he was right.
That sounds like a stoic, actually.
Yeah.
That sounds like a stoic.
Yeah, as it turns out,
a stoic is like if you're not living exactly one way, not one way, but like so fine of a line.
Right.
Like if you do anything more than you need to, then that's a problem.
Right, yeah. It's reading is for weak-willed people
who
can't live in the moment.
That's what meditation said. And
is that what it said?
Well, it says that don't, like, what's the point of reading other philosophy? Just live your life. Don't. Because at the time, obviously, there's nothing except reading if you can read.
Right.
And so if you're someone who, with leisure time, he was like, what's the point of learning all this history for what?
Right.
What's the point?
I mean, he's kind of, to extrapolate the point, I think there is like value in saying like, hey, you can read and agonize over this all you want, but at the end of the day, you got to do something. You're going to die.
You're going to die. Well, that's his main goal. Yeah. Basically saying you're going to die.
Well, but what I'm saying is that there isn't a point to studying history and philosophy and all this shit if you're not going to like if you're going to bury in all of it and just do it for its own sake. It's like go do something else, dog. Like I don't know.
Well, if you don't enjoy it, if you're doing it for the sake of others, I guess.
Oh, doing anything for the sake of other people. That's the biggest thing. Like I thought for the past year, like after everything slowed down because of the pandemic, that I wasn't going to do what I was doing before. I'm totally going to do that. I've already got shit scheduled out. Like I'm doing a ton of shit. Yeah. The difference is I'm doing things that I want to do, and I'm not doing things that people like ask me to do, unless it's a thing that I want to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like doing things for other people, like not like in a nice way, not like, oh, I want to do something for someone, but in the sense that it's like, oh, I like do this whole pursuit just for someone else's sake and not at all my own sake is like fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I feel like you're the kind of person that would probably get, because you're so busy, you would hit that like train track and you'd sit with it and you wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, I'm doing something I don't want to do anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I'm on this track.
That's what it was like. And now it's like I'm going to be a lot more aware of like the track.
Yeah, can you help me move next week?
Fuck you. You paying me, motherfucker? Like, I know you can afford movers, so suck my cock.
Probably not, but yeah.
Probably not.
Well, I mean, yeah, if I had to. I would just do it myself. I don't have that much stuff.
That's the thing, right?
Don't have too much stuff.
I move on my... I don't ask motherfuckers to help me move usually.
Just virgins?
What?
You just ask virgins?
What about virgins?
Because you don't ask motherfuckers. So just virgins?
Right, yeah, yep, yeah. Virgin, you know how fucking crazy it is, where it's like, literally they have those moving companies that are like, two hot college dudes.
Yeah, college
your stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like you take it a step further, and it's just like, virgin movers, we've never fucked before. Like, just straight up, like our boy pussies are tight, like on the side of a semi.
Yeah. Kind of like that, yeah. Well, because the college hunks is that you're this type of person for 4 to 5, 6 years. Yeah. So you kind of it's similar. Yeah. It's just more stupid.
Well, they even had like because it went from like two guys in a truck into like college. I've seen a
couple
different moving companies that are sexualized in their advertising, which I know sex sells, but that's usually not something you expect to see along the side of like a moving truck. You know what I mean? So the natural conclusion is like, you know, unbroken hymen moving. You know?
Yeah.
What's up, Casey?
Join?
Sick fucking shirt.
Yeah, you like it?
I really like it. I like
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, does it?
Twice. That's how you know. Is that...
Fuck yeah! I've always thought that the Japanese basic D&D cover was better because that is
yeah. That explains it.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's the red box.
I just found this in a trendy shop, and I was like, I think they just threw Japanese on this because everything else in here is anime.
No, I don't think so. Sense. I think the Japanese actually says something like basic set or like or some shit.
I'm a basic person.
Well, no. Basic
he likes Dungeons and Dragons, and he's basic.
D&D, best D&D, motherfucker.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
We've been kind of talking about RPGs, talking adjacent. Yeah, to RPGs.
Well, does that allow me to come in for an opportunity?
That does allow you to come into an,
we can,
an opportunity. We can stop it.
Yeah.
Good. So what we're basically talking about is like, so if there's a continuum of like, oh shit, what was the continuum?
Hymen.
It went the Hyman continuum. Yeah. The Hyman elasticity constant in physics. No, the RPGs, are they a leisure on a scale of leisure to work? Where are they at? Like, do you need time to recover from running?
Depends
or
what side of the table you're at. More, I'd say.
I would agree with that. Honestly, for me, being a GM, complete leisure. Being a player, it's like work.
That's wild. That's so wild to me because it's the complete opposite for me.
Which makes sense. I mean, that's the way it makes sense. I mean,
like when I have to prep for a game, I have at least 4 hours of mental space time. Just for thinking through stuff, prepping.
Damn.
I might not be like actually at the table taking notes or building encounters or whatnot, but I have to get in the mental space.
Well, you do think of things in a lot more narrative, theatrics, like why are people doing what they're doing? What's the greater plot type shit? Yeah, so that makes sense. You literally have to get in character as the world.
I do, yes. That's the easiest way.
Getting in character as a setting is that sounds pretty hard.
Yeah, so getting in character as one person that I get to craft myself and completely represent, that's easy. Right. That's like, I don't even have to drive. Someone else is driving. This one other person is driving.
Right.
Whereas you can't have that on the DM side. Uh-huh. You have to... Multiple people are driving, and you're trying to conduct traffic so nothing crashes. And then you invite other people onto that same roadway, and you're having to do stuff that has them actually do some little bit of risky driving, but then you're also trying to keep it at that line to where it doesn't just create an entire roadblock.
And then here I come in with a beer, staggering through traffic, causing accidents. But I know I've done this so much that I know exactly where to step, that all the accidents avoid me.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, literally, I guess when I play your games, I am definitely in a very fragile car. I wouldn't even say it. I'm probably on not even a motorcycle, a moped, going on highway speeds.
Autobahn.
Yeah.
Autobahn
as there's
safer.
other just cars just blowing past me, and I'm like, "What the hell is that? Is that a semi?" Jesus!
And I'm on the back like, "Don't worry, just keep driving. It's fine. Just drive."
I think it's like,
but once I get off, once I turn up, finally get my exit.
Yeah.
Jeez, did I have a good time?
Yeah.
I think it's like the same.
Looking back.
I think it's the same thing you're talking about, but it's also everyone can shoot you. Like everyone can drive by.
Yeah. Everyone has a gun and they're firing blindly.
Yeah.
No, everyone is like full road rage.
Yeah, full road rage. Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
Because the whole point is hopeless.
Yeah, it's just complete. We did Burning Wheel character creation for one of my other groups recently, and it was just like, fucking, I have changed up my diet a bit, so the alcohol was hitting me a lot harder. So I was literally like Dad's home, and he's making us Burning Wheel characters. So I'm like, that life path sucks. You shouldn't use a different life path. Like fucking like. It worked, but I guess it's like two different styles of acting, right? Like I'm improv, I'm like shamanistic, like pulling stuff out of the ether, and then you're staring at the skull for 2 hours, wondering what it's like to be dead before you get on stage.
The abyss stares back at you.
Right? Yeah. So I guess it's like, but socially, how does that fulfill you? Like, would you say that, like, because we were talking about RPGs as like a social experience, because it's inherently a social experience. Me and Matt interact with RPGs in the same way we interact with being social for that reason.
Right. So we're opposites.
Yeah. So it's curious to see where you're kind of at.
No,
like,
it's definitely a refreshing effect.
Hell yeah.
Throughout playing the entire time.
I feel that. Yeah.
I feel sometimes after games it can suddenly like just this delay of time where you've just moved yourself into a different mental space, and then when it's all over and everyone's gone for the night and you're just putting stuff together, it almost feels like jet lag in a way.
It does.
Yeah.
It absolutely does. It's like getting your fix, but like some people, like you're getting your social fix, but like some people need more fixes than others.
Yeah.
And then some people need time to be like, okay, whoa, like that was fun, but now I need to like fucking go to bed and not think about much. Or it's just like, fucking like, okay, cool. And now I'm going to drink an energy drink and then play Counter-Strike for 3 hours. And then the next day is like, I mean,
that's not very specific.
It is very
the
specific.
Next day for me after running or being in a game is typically the most, that's when I feel the effects of having played a game really well.
Interesting.
Because my mind feels really active. I'm constantly thinking and remembering
of the
what
next
people are
time
doing.
too.
I'm trying to, my mind automatically go. It's trying to like anticipate what will happen next time with different players' choices.
Right.
Even on the player side, I'm like, I really like how that we had this one character just hack into this thing because of the smart way, and I want to be able to get into the next situation that introduces those things. It's
that's
that
cool.
Combination of different people just bringing themselves together to overcome complete adversity,
which is the fucking best.
Yeah,
I mean that's what it's all about, right? It's about like, I don't want to get us too far away from the point at hand, but it is like just fucking overcoming challenges. And there's a reason why people like D&D is used in schools and stuff a lot, is because, or they let that happen because it's like teaching people problem solving and overcoming and dealing with consequences and shit like that.
Yeah.
So there is always this like,
working with a group.
Yeah, exactly, like teamwork. So there is like important. Some really positive shit that comes out of that.
I mean, socially, it's the best way to spend time with any other person.
Goal oriented.
Just in terms of what you get out of understanding them and how you gain an idea of your similarities and differences, or even perspectives on those things.
I'm fucking with it. That's kind of why I'm excited to do more road crew, so I can meet more people and stuff.
Oh, there's a different dynamic when you're playing with people just that you've never met before.
Right.
When your only frame of reference is the character or idea that they have brought to the table.
Or just the fact that we like the same game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like that's it. I figure it's a lot more hit and miss, but it's like at the very least, like it is almost like I give less of a shit because these aren't people who I necessarily immediately like value their time and their perspective and their shit. It's like, you know, I can just do what I want, and if you like it, that's cool. And then we can hang out later if it turns out we actually like each other. But if not, then it doesn't matter. I had a good time.
No, it's a really good testing ground for meeting other players and meeting other styles of play.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's been some games that I've only played in random play, like at conventions and stuff, that you've never gotten the same sort of feel from any other home game that you do.
Right.
Just because everyone runs their games differently.
I think convention games kick ass because everybody's coming. If you're just doing a game at a game store, who knows what the fuck you're going to get off the street. But like at a convention, everyone who's there is coming to play convention games specifically. So they already have like a mindset coming in.
Oh, and there's also just no other great feel than having played with someone like the day before or in the early morning, and then you go through like 2 or 3 hours of other completely different sort of games or tabletop adventure. And then you're at like a night game, and suddenly you see like 2 other people that you've played with the past 12 hours, but at different stories, all back together. And you're like, oh, I know how to work with you.
It's so cool.
And
that happened during that Goodman Games convention. That's part of why I want to do Road Crew more, is because they've got a good thing going with like DCC and stuff like that. Sure. That sort of environment. Savage Worlds has got a good environment for that going too. I remember the one game that I ran where I had a 1 player. And we ran anyway, and it was literally a 1-man dungeon crawl, and that was one of those that was so fucking cool. That was so. He was a magic user, just 1 torch into the darkness, and it was it was some of the coolest shit. And he'd played like twice, like this was his first weekend.
Nice.
So it was literally like a 1-man. Yeah, that was fucking magic, dude. Cool. That was so cool. I'm with it.
I've always found trying to run for one person is sort of difficult in a manner.
Which
is funny because that's how I started playing, was just with one other person.
For
4 years.
Oh shit, we haven't talked about that in a while. I remember all the stories.
Which that's really probably where I learned to get character acting mostly, is having just only one other person. I always know exactly how they're going to run, so I have to approach it in any different way. And we'd play for like 3 to 4 weeks, 2 months, 4 months, get to the end of a story and go, just a new book came out. Because 3rd edition was always coming out with books.
Oh, always. Yeah.
And the thing is that at the time there wasn't actually any like giant internet focus like for Wikipedia and stuff. So you just had the books to go by.
Yeah.
So when we were introduced to new stuff, we just wanted to start playing a different game.
But you could, because the only investment you had was each other. So if you agreed, you could just go. It's not like you had to get the buy-in of 5 other people.
Yeah, no, it was easy. We'd go, okay, pick a night, and we'd play for 2 days in a row.
It's like the number of players you have, it's not that it's easier or harder, it's just you have to emphasize different things. And especially if you're playing with like big groups or really small groups or solo, those things that you have to pay attention to are probably things that you're not very used to paying attention to. Because all of a sudden it's like, well, my NPC interactions matter a lot more if this is one guy. You know what I mean? Like that's really fucking cool.
Yeah,
it makes sense. What was this? Okay, well, that sounded like. What's the movie? What's the movie we're talking about? Okay, what's the thing that
your kind of movie?
I don't know about that.
So have you heard Hanzo the Razor before?
I've heard of that.
You actually heard of Hanzo the Razor?
That sounds really familiar. Yeah.
Interesting.
What do you know about it? What do you know about it?
I don't know. I know that the name.
The name itself. What does it come out?
What does it evoke?
Don't look it up. Don't look it up yet.
It's like some. I'm okay.
It's
like some samurai, or it's like it occupies some space between samurai and serial killer.
Okay. Yeah. You
that's
got
kind of where it's
pretty
at.
close.
Yeah.
Probably like a Ronin, like a wandering, murdering Ronin type.
He has a desk job.
No, he's got a big desk job.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a mafia enforcer?
Job. No, he's
like
a big desk job.
He's got a big desk.
He's got a big desk job.
Okay, got a big desk.
You lost me.
That's what it's about.
People really like his big desk.
No, he's a petty officer. He is basically it is a heavily like samurai-esque movie,
right?
Except for the fact that immediately as it introduces you into a very typical sort of like samurai period, there's a rolling funk music that is just blasting like 70s sex as he's rolling down the street,
like Samurai Champloo did.
Oh
with, like,
yeah, very
hip-hop
much.
And stuff.
Except this is like 70s, like it looks like an Akira Kurosawa.
Oh, it's pretty fucking sick. Okay.
And then the 70s. That part was good.
Yeah, the music rolls and you're like, wow, okay, this is sexy. And then you keep watching and you go, oh, this is sexy?
So he starts
Whoa, wait.
torturing himself.
Cool.
To understand torture.
Yeah.
Neat.
But then he tortures him in a very specific way.
Yeah. What is that way, Matt?
So there's an indentation on this block of wood he has where he's hitting his balls.
And phallus.
In phallus.
There's like a full print.
Like
we're talking half an inch deep. In this
like
giant wooden stool.
Just from him swinging his
constantly.
cock and
He's
balls.
doing it every day.
From beating it into it too.
Beating
Okay.
it. Like torturing
like nuts on a table.
Yeah.
Like
cock and ball torture.
Like on the stool.
Yeah, on the stool. And then to cool off.
Yeah, cool
or
off.
I actually don't know if it would.
No, it's worse.
This seems like it had to be worse.
Yeah. The
bag of rice.
Bag of rice. He's fucking a bag of rice.
Fucks a bag of rice, like a raw rice.
Well,
really
then
hard.
The grains are going in his urethra.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
probably.
point.
Yeah.
It's pain.
No way does the movie actually be like, oh, check this out. Look at the grains of rice go in his dick hole. Or
No,
is
it
it
doesn't
like-
show the
just
dick.
showing
The only
him
time you see the
hitting it.
dick is the imprint, the shadow.
So it would be fine if it's just that.
Yeah,
But how he interrogates is
That's cool. Let's timestamp that while we can because it'll be coming in.
he's a straight.
Yeah, it's great because the movie starts off with him like completely going against the grain while everyone else is getting.
Grain?
Oh, yeah, he goes
the
against the
grain?
grain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all of the other cops, they're all taking an oath. And
He's
they're
a
like,
cop,
we
too?
won't. Oh yeah, because he's basically
he's a local official.
yeah,
Okay.
local
But
official.
you know, it's a samurai, so he's a cop.
Right.
Basically.
Right. Samurais are
He upholds
narcs,
the law.
Yeah, but he refuses to take the oath and then stands up, basically saying, "I can't take this oath because how everything we set up is corruption.
We're all
everything
corrupt,
is
yeah.
wrong, and I will not do that. And I'm going to continue doing my job that I've done."
The
So it starts
blackmail
off,
someone.
and you're like, "Wow, okay, this is Mr. Law. This is Mr. Order."
Right.
He has an order, and
Then he blackmails people immediately. He immediately fakes blackmail someone.
So it's like instead of in like True Detective when they bring him in the room and then talk to him, it's like he brings him in the room, but he's
Yeah. The thing
he's
is,
like confess.
but the thing is, he's a hardline cop, so like that's the only reason why he does it is
Yeah.
to have them confess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
see,
the only reason why he does
Dude,
it is
it's
for the,
weird
is for the
because it's so
coercive violence.
It's so
Is that the
explicit.
only-
Like, and then the film's like, yeah,
and then by the end, they're all like, "Okay," and then they just give him the information. And that leads into the
because
next
it's
plot.
like hot.
Yeah,
Because it's
because
supposed
he's
to be,
I made a boo boo.
yeah, it's
oh
pretty
boy,
because that's how the
yeah.
that's how the plot continues. You know.
yeah.
right.
But then the emotional strength of it makes it seem like it's not. But
Yeah.
it
This
is.
is an incredibly bizarre combination of a lot of things.
There's three
He's
of
also
these movies.
yeah. He's also
Three.
so yeah. He's like super straight line, but then immediately he breaks. He's basically the most corrupt there because he.
Whoops.
So it re-encapsulates in this like dreamlike reality of like, what the fuck?
So
How
yeah.
could this be happening? And
How can he justify
that's
this?
the only
Like,
that's the only reason why they're like fine with it at the end with the depiction, because if it went to its logical conclusion, he'd fucking
So
lose
the
his
reason-
job the first time.
Oh, it's pretty great. He's so corrupt. Like there's like it's just like he's walking around very early. The guy running away from his own precinct police, and he immediately wants information from him. So he acts like he killed him by stabbing his nose, so he bleeds a lot, and then takes him. So there's already cops looking for this guy in front of him.
Yeah.
He acts like he killed him, and then goes, "Okay, I killed him. I'm
Yeah,
going to take
because
his body."
he literally drives a blunt Tonto just through this guy's nose.
oh.
And he's like, he's dead. And then immediately he's like, "Oh, I saved you from cops." And you're like, this is the most corrupt guy in the whole force.
Man, what?
This has to be commentary.
How does it end?
It's so blatant. The movie doesn't know how to self-end. So
It just ends.
the ending halfway, and then So we already told you this part. Okay, so halfway he finds the guy he wants.
Right.
Halfway. This movie doesn't know what it's doing. Next.
Oh yeah.
Next.
The sudden moral lesson. Let's bring that up.
Yeah, so then next, he's sitting there eating food at this random food stand. He sees a young girl, and she's not old enough. A young girl and a young kid, probably 10, walking up. She goes, I want to drink something. Give me your hardest stuff. I only have this much money. She drinks a lot, and she says, okay, now I can do it. And so our moral hero goes, okay, cool. I mean, he's like, I wonder what they're doing. This sounds like something's happening. He follows them and finds out the father of the girl is like have a tumor and he's in pain and he wants to die. So she drank enough alcohol to kill him because she's like, we can't save you. We have to do this. You know, you're in pain. We can't help you. So. He goes up and he's just like, you can't literally kill him in front of me. That's murder. Like, we care about this guy. I love when he does that.
Yeah, like he should care about. Yeah,
he's like, you can't do that.
Everything you've described, he's in no position to be morally.
Listen,
get ready for this.
He only cares about the law as it applies
To him.
He doesn't care about the law. He doesn't care about the law when it won't.
Do you want to
apply.
finish it, or do you want me to?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so not like you interrupted me, but in the sense of like just you know the punchline. Okay, so we're like, cool. He goes, okay, your father's in pain. You know what? I'm gonna grab the doctor. So he grabs the doctor of one of the people he.
Yikes!
As in like the father of it. Just as a context.
Okay.
So this guy doesn't really like him, but he comes anyways.
That's true. I forgot that.
Yeah, no. Remember, because he's the doctor. Yeah. So he forgot that context.
He probably doesn't have a very good opinion of Mr. Hanzo here.
Yeah. So then he gets here and says, yes, the father has like a terminal illness. He's got a tumor. He'll die in a month. He's just going to die in pain. So Hanzo, he goes. The doctor immediately gets raptured because the way the film goes, because the cut is so hard, he just gets up and teleports.
Yeah, they're like, well, that's all we can do here. We're going to leave, and then stands up.
Trump cuts him out. It's
Him and
hilarious.
3 other people or something like that in the same room. They're all stand up and they're gone. It's just Hanzo and the kids.
It's like they're raptured because it's so hard of a cut.
What the fuck?
So it goes, and he's gone, like he's raptured because it's like what? Okay, here we go. He finds out. All right, the doctor says he can't do anything, so he gives the father some medicine. He goes, "Hey kids, go outside. I'm gonna have a moment with your father." Immediately gets some rope and hangs him. Just like nonchalantly, just grabs some rope. He's like, he doesn't feel any more pain, and does it in the middle of 5 seconds.
Then he opens the door and tells the kids, "Hey, go get the doctor and everyone else and bring him here." And then he shows and stands and goes, he hung himself because he was in too much pain.
Yeah, this is our hero.
Because, like,
it's so great in the end. You're like, what? What?
There's so many questions because it's like, so it's probably the only way I guess he justifies is like, well, because I'm this corrupt police officer, I can kill someone and get away with it because I'm the
well, the
law
kid
man.
can't do that's I mean,
Right.
it's a
He
breach
said-
of
he-
innocence.
he said
Right.
it was he said actually you can't be the one to kill him because that's patricide. That's
Yeah, Patrick said, yeah.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is like technically he's the one here who can kill him, but then he comes in, it's like, oh yeah, he hung himself, so now it's like, leaving these kids with Dad killed himself, like it's.
Oh
it's
no,
fucking-
they know he did it. That
Oh yeah.
because
Because it's literally like, hey kids, leave the room. 20 seconds.
He can't-
later,
he-
hey kids, come back in.
he's too much in pain to do it. He literally can barely move, so they know he did that.
Man, this fucking tumor.
So
must
when
be something else.
so when he said, "Hey, go out the room," they basically already knew what he was going to do.
Okay, that doesn't make it any
in my thought,
better.
I'm pretty sure like that.
This movie is so complicated.
But it's hilarious. Yeah, our hero's just like, oh man, he's gonna die in a month in pain. I'll do the real thing. Hey, walk outside. But how nonchalantly he just goes, okay.
What?
He just
Well,
goes, whoom, so quickly.
What's funny about this is like, usually when you hear, oh, this movie's complicated, it's because, oh, is he morally gray? It's like, no, this is a bad fucking guy.
He's
like,
bad.
There's nothing morally gray about
Oh,
it.
he cucks his
Like,
boss too. I
But
forgot
it's
to
to
mention
that
that.
point. But I'm also going like, why is the movie showing me this? What is it? What is it trying to say?
Yeah,
by
the
doing
movie-
These things?
But
Is
yeah,
it speaking to me through subtext of some kind?
yeah, I know because we forgot to mention.
Surely it has to be.
We forgot to mention the first
Whoops.
is the mistress of. I know. Yeah, it's the mistress of his boss.
Yeah.
So later, when he like, I guess when his boss was blackmailed, so he sees his boss as he like ends the guy who's looking for her halfway in the film, and his boss was implicated in it. He basically says, "Yes, I guess we're brothers because we both share the same mistress."
What does that have to do with anything?
So he was just like, "Yeah, I guess we're brothers now because I cucked you." You're the cuck man.
And then he just keeps bringing them to his house. So it feels like, because there's 2 more movies. The movie ends with him literally getting through a conspiracy almost like part way and then going, this leads to the castle. The end.
Yeah. It's
so he's
so
only,
weird.
There's 2 more movies. He's only going to
No way.
his way up.
Yeah, it's like it builds the stuff and immediately drops it. Like, yeah, during the film, he's like, "Oh, this is how I'm going to do it. Oh no, these 2 people," because that's like what it means, obviously. And then immediately, like the next scene is he already gets what he wants from the beginning of the film. And you're like, what? Halfway, we're done. Hanzo the Razor, and it's Sword of Vengeance, right? Sword of Vengeance,
which took on a different meaning entirely from when I thought we were going to watch.
And the best,
we just watched this going.
We thought it was a regular movie. We never looked it up.
We're like, this looks like a cool samurai movie.
We never looked it up.
It's from the 70s. And we just started watching.
Well, the first, the castrating thing. Was like, and then all of a sudden he just like,
Who don't want it?
But yeah, remember the what was I missing? I was just what was the other thing?
That is. I don't know why I'm looking here for answers. I don't think I'm gonna find any. Like,
the
it's
other
just
films.
so.
We're gonna watch probably the other films, but at the beginning, I'm like, I don't think I want to.
Yeah,
like it's uncomfortable. It goes on for a long time.
Yeah, and the context is. The context has a weird way of just having be regular like cinematography, really well done for its time and stuff, and then it just draws you into these contexts that you don't notice them until you're there with the characters,
right?
And then you're going, "What the fuck is? How did we get to this point already?"
Yeah, you're the rogue cop. Yeah, he is. Holy shit.
Yeah, he is. He should be in. He should be in forever jail. Like
that's the guy.
Which actually, that's the thing. He's after the entire time. He's going after a criminal that escaped his forever jail. Yeah. There's a criminal that is just a killer. That's the thing. He's bad because he's a killer.
Yeah, Kanbei the killer.
And then like after the end of this movie, I'm like, Jesus. Compared to our main character, I don't know if the one guy, this Kanbei the killer, who escaped from
barely know anything about him.
An island prison.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's implied that that's like his main prison that he sends people to.
Right.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, I guess
he
I forgot that.
He escapes and he's like, he does all these other horrible acts just to get that prisoner back in the jail where he.
Right.
There has to be more context to this.
Yeah, it's like almost you can't like outweigh the cost of the things he's done to.
We don't even get really a good characterization of the killer too.
No,
like he's just there. And he goes away so quickly.
He tries to kill like one person on screen. Well, I don't think I saw many.
If we're giving it the benefit of the doubt, then that means like, oh, it doesn't. It's a MacGuffin. We really care about what our main character is doing.
Yeah.
Or to what's more like is just like, oh yeah, we just told you he's a bad guy, so you know he's a bad guy. That should be all you need. You fucking idiot. That seems
like what it's set up as.
It's so explicit though. It feels.
Well,
like
I mean, it sounds everything you've explained to me sounds like it's an exploitation film.
Yeah.
Which a lot of times those don't have any underlying points. Those don't have any. It's literally there so you can see really shocking graphic shit. It's the only reason why it sells any tickets. And it sounds like it is absolutely some shocking graphic shit. Yeah. But the reason why people ascribing exploitation films sometimes, like we described, is like I can't understand why you would be showing me these things. There has to be some reason. It's almost like a defense mechanism. Like, oh no, it's fine. There must be some sort of metaphor or something. And it's like, no, probably not.
Yeah, so I'm not super into know-how of those films, but yeah, like fuck. Let's just in case. Let's watch a random Japanese samurai movie. Okay. Whoa.
I feel like there should already be some sort of documentary on how this whole thing was produced.
It was pretty.
Like, how the hell did this get onto screen?
It's actually rated. It's rated high.
Yeah,
I would hope so.
This is on HBO Max on its Criterion collection.
Well,
the Criterion collection?
It was Criterion. That's true.
No way is this.
Yeah, it was Criterion. That's true.
Which typically everything on the Criterion collection is like a Kino film.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
Other people say it's good. Doesn't mean it was good.
We've watched some good ones so far.
Oh yeah, no, I think
Yeah,
so.
we've
But I
watched
think-
plenty. We've watched plenty of other movies besides
Highbrow.
this one movie. Let's all right.
But I think it. But
I understand.
it's still
trying to do a
Criterion.
character study on Hanzo the Razor out of some love for it.
Yeah, yeah. It's more of like it's like therapy. It's like I'm trying to work through something that's been clouding my
But
mental health.
I did straight up halfway through the film. I said, "This is Jimmy's movie."
Well, okay. Now, why is this my movie? What about it makes it
The
my
dick
movie?
hitting, probably.
The dick. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I could see
Just
that.
a general connection.
Okay, I forgot all about the dick hitting.
The dick hitting.
Because the shadow of the dick on the stool is so far above where
That's
we've
true.
ended up.
It's
that it's
so
like,
yeah. You're like, this guy. He tortures himself. I get it, because you thought he was a good guy because he's like, oh, he understands torture, so he only does what he think he needs to do. But his torture is just
Undo.
what?
Yeah, because it introduces that point about the whole torture thing, and I was like, oh, we're gonna see him do some
yeah.
messed
He
up stuff.
in the first torture he did to himself.
What you do?
And I thought it was gonna be like, like characters screaming like, "Oh, you're doing all this to me. You think you're such a good person." He'd be like, "I've already done this to myself."
Yeah, he knows
Right.
what it means.
Easy.
Yeah,
But
but
no.
no, it didn't go there. It didn't hold
because
those
the
things.
very first torture, which is we thought the character was still a good guy, was he sits like Japanese style. I'm sure there's a better way, but like on his knees with your like legs up,
Right, yeah.
You know, like sitting. But he puts cinder blocks on his knees, and so he has like 5, and he has his underlings put like a whole bunch of cinder blocks. So, and he says to his boss, "Okay, I'm doing this to know how." And his boss is like, "What's wrong with you?"
And then on this, he's laying on top of these ribbed wooden blades
like that.
the entire time.
Yeah.
So like straight up like torture, but then after he saw the other ones, I think he's just on his dick.
Yeah, he pointed that out. I didn't think about.
I'm pretty sure it's just on his dick, but then it's still on his knees.
Like,
so.
yeah, his legs and stuff are bleeding.
Well,
but
now it's like, so is he hardening his dick?
Oh, he
Oops.
That he does
the torture he gets hard on. It's explicit. He says that.
he does say that.
I'm
yes.
sorry.
Yes.
He gets aroused by torture.
Oh my. Well, this adds a whole other.
I forgot to say
that.
that was the beginning. Is he takes off his like he's wearing a diaper basically. You know whatever they wear at the time. His underwear. He's wearing underwear, and his boss is right there, and then he's like changing it, and he's just like, "You're hard," and he's like, "Yep." He's like, "Yeah, this makes me hard." Very explicit.
What?
Oh, and then there's guys that gossip about his dick size.
Oh yeah, because everyone knows about
What?
the size of his
Like
dick.
they went to like
Because this is definitely not his first time doing this.
they went to the spa,
No.
and they say, "Yeah, I've seen his dick."
Unfortunately, this story starts in media res of the career of Hanzo the Razor.
Yeah, he's pretty.
The career.
Actually, he's only done it for a year. Remember?
No, he said he did it for 4 years. Because the thing is, he skipped. They specifically say that he was sick the first time.
He skipped
sick
the
the second time. He had to take the oath. And,
he skipped the oath. That's true.
And then he acted. He just had a reason to miss the third.
Right. Yep. That's
So the fourth
true.
year, they're like,
So he hasn't had
a.
a.
And he didn't take
He
it.
basically
They're like,
hasn't
"How
had a
dare you."
review in like 4 years.
Yeah.
And he just
Yep.
people.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about.
They're like, "What's that guy over there?" And the boss is like, "I don't know. He's been sick every time." And then you're like, "That guy."
Undo.
People.
Oh my god, I don't know how much of this is usable.
I know.
Yeah,
it's
right.
pretty explicit language. Is it?
I'm very
cutting it. There we go.
I'm air quotes happy that you informed me of this. It's happy isn't even. I'll have to cut that out. I can't say I'm happy about this. I can't say I'm happy about this shit.
Every time I do, I always ruin the podcast, don't we? You make something you can't even publish.
I can edit around it.
You you can keep this segment just
Look,
in the future to reminisce on.
We were talking about reminiscing. Oh yeah, remember that time that Casey and Matt told me all about the cop who fucks bags of rice and
My bad.
That's the thing is you would be like, you're obviously like, oh, there's something more to this, and he's just like, no, that guy just did that.
there's just gonna be
Holy
for
shit.
this whole segment. There's just gonna be like because I listened to every whole thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna cut probably some good. I want to keep a lot of this in. Maybe I'll salvage what I can.
I
I'll
saw
salvage
Hanzo
what
the
I
beep.
can. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of like, reminiscing on Matt and Casey telling me about beep.
This is entirely because we went and watched a movie.
Right.
This is not our normal topic of discussion here.
No,
Dude,
it's not.
we saw
But, like,
recently Seventh Seal.
Yeah, that was a good
Super
movie.
highbrow movie.
Yeah?
Super highbrow. Made in the 50s, even
58?
earlier. Super highbrow. It's the Criterion, like, gold child. Everyone talks about, if you know Criterion, it's one of the first things that people know.
I guess.
But then we saw Hanzo the Razor.
I guess my question is, how can I build Hands with a Razor in Legend of the Five Rings? That's my question. You know, is the actions that he performs, is that fire? Is that earth? Is that
Fire,
It
yeah.
might be some kind
It's
of
fire.
I don't know, yeah.
No, it's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot again. I don't do it enough.
See, I'm worried
Ben
if
would remind me.
if Hanzo the Razor is this.
Also, I wouldn't allow
Yikes!
in my game. Just
Yeah.
it almost seemed like I allowed
Yikes!
in my game.
Yeah, that's what you just.
That's not
Like
what I meant to
I'm the
imply.
wild card, and you're like, yeah, you know what? Good, I can
Oops.
in Matt's game.
No, I was making